starting on the T side. This surely will be G2 as we move things over to Dust 2 next. And Chad, do you think it's going to be a close game at least? We're going to get a competitive one.
Wait, what did you say, 16 what?
I don't remember.
I thought I said I heard a 16-2.
Oh, no. Bloody hell, it's G2. I don't know about the 16-2, but that would be something special if we get one of them to kick off the day. We can see the nades being brought on out here on the side of G2. This would let me believe they have an idea.
Look how fast this is. OG is going to get this fast smoke towards jungle side, and they're filling into the A site already. Jax will be playing retake. You can see he's falling off. Kenny's already caught two on the cross. Woo, robotic.
He is one of the best pistol users in the game right now. People are not aware of that. His stats are insane with the USB especially. That's going to be the first 2 kills, opening things up there. Kenny S has surely secured the round at this point. The flashbang is very strong. How has Mantu not converted a frag there? Can he make up for it towards Connector? Apparently not. It looks like it's going to be a clean sweep at this point. Alexi be the last player remaining, and OG will crumble. Nice execution towards A. They managed to get the bomb down, but Kenny S hitting glorious shots there upon entry, and we will have all 5 players of G2 staying alive here after the pistol.
Damn, Kenny made that so much easier than it could have been. Double kill, just opening up the site. That was 2 players that would have been flooding towards that pack on CT. They couldn't even get across thanks to Kenny and his USP. We'll be pulling out an M4, thanks to his early frags. He'll be going for that. And I assume he's going to grab a helmet. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, better to be safe than sorry. Extra protection. We have the M4 in the hands of him and no grenades. So he's building himself up for a couple of kills. He wants to treat himself to the big old rifle here. He's got the M4A4 up against the, not even partial buy here. This is the eco for OG. They will be bringing out the AKs and maybe 1 Krieg into the next round. That seems to be that meta at this stage. We'll be looking to get the bomb planted if possible. Valda has a PT-50. They've got a Desert Eagle. And I think that is going to make their way towards B. They've waited for the initial utility to be thrown. There's still quite a bit on that side of the map. Now, Amanek still has the HE grenade. Same story for Hunter. So if they make a lot of sound cues here, they could be walking into the airstrike.
A Desert Eagle and a P250 certainly shouldn't be getting them far, but, you know, it's certainly a possibility.
Wow, they have to weigh that smoke out regardless, I'd say. Off, in they come.
They still got some info, but here come the nades, and Hunter already connecting with one on FAMAS. One jumps out, and they can't quite deal with him cleanly, but there it is. Neat and tidy. A quad kill from Hunter in the end with his FAMAS. Quick eco bash.
Yeah, they get to drop a frag at this point. 2-0, but here come the AK-47s. Like we said, the Kriegs might be making an appearance as well. It'll be interesting to see whether OG are subscribe to the same philosophy that the Krieg shouldn't be purchased until the end of the game. Alexi answered that question for me pretty quickly. He will purchase the first one. Looking for their first frag. Round 3 coming up. I've got a feeling they might find it.
They did try mid-base default rounds as we saw them play earlier. And it didn't go so well. They were down to a large deficit, but when they grouped up, they went more for site-orientated plays. They were able to find a lot more impact. Here it looks like they're feigning just the mid-default. We can see the smokes, mollies, and nades coming on out. The 3 of them will get control as G2 Esports will not be playing anybody on middle to receive, first of all, any of the damage from the utility or any of the information. It's just the jumping individual over towards Catwalk of Hunter. And that nade onto Alexi, that's a tasty morsel right there.
Yeah, that's juicy. Alexi forced to work with half health.
So they've been able to establish their mid-control without being picked off. This was a problem for them in the previous, so let's see. Bounce around the corner and find the opening. MBK gets one. He was looking good when we saw them play last.
Yeah, he really was, and we'll see if he can keep it up now. He's got to find a couple more players towards the B bomb side. There's the second. There's one more player here. That's going to be the FAMAS waiting on the side. Hunter sits in the smoke, but he has been found out as Issa sprays through, gets all 3 kills and towards that B bomb site, and that's going to be the round completed. Remember, though, this is a bit of a bonus situation for G2. We call this round the bonus round now because it's unlikely you're going to win it against a fully board T side, but you've got those residual FAMASs, the MP9s, maybe a UMP or 2, and at that point, just trying to cause as much financial damage as you possibly can. If you win the round, it's massive. It means going forward, you're going to have a huge bankroll, but bear in mind, G2 didn't give a single frag until this round. So their money's going to be absolutely fine going to the next round, especially if they save a couple of weapons here. And more importantly, that Krieg and Jax.
Alexi's going to be so mad. The one Krieg that they brought into the round, and it comes down to the exit frag and a save. He loses it. That will perhaps have some ramifications into the next. I don't know who is the designated Krieg user of G2. You know, so a lot of teams have 1 or 2 specialists.
I think Hunter would be up there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good suggestion considering what he's capable of with any sort of hit scan.
From the catwalk position as well, it's going to be pretty potent.
Yeah, if he does get it, that is. Jax is
He's got it. Okay.
more than capable of using the weapon himself. Another keen fragger, not a household name by any stretch. Chad mentioned the death the other day. He's actually 26, considered pretty old in his career by CS standards, but he's just really making it in 2019.
He chose to stick playing with his friends throughout the majority of his career and then took the leap to this pro level only recently.
That is curious, Alex. The fact they've got a Krieg and an M4 and enough funds to buy into this round, I guess because they didn't do enough damage in the previous, they feel like they're just going to play bigger picture Counter-Strike at this point, knowing they're the better team and have absolutely everything they want. Maybe they want a double AWP setup to kick things off here. Time will tell. They can still win this round, but yeah, curious as to why they didn't force. Almost 90% of teams would in this particular circumstance.
I mean, it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility. Some armor on hand, work with the rifle. Kenny's Deagle. All of his kills have been with pistol.
As the smoke was fading, this is one of the problems. If you don't re-smoke while there's still a grey screen in play, people are going to punish you and take advantage of that. And Kenny almost hit another one through the smoke.
It's enough presence as well, just to maybe scare Alexi at this point. He does stay in towards that window room position. Continues towards the murder hole, and that name might be appropriate at this stage. M4 ready and waiting. It's going to connect. Alexi goes down. This is an eco, remember. They didn't really invest anything. Barely a partial buy. Valdo will pull one back, and it's the same approach we had towards B, and Kenny S will find his second Deagle headshot.
He's done it again.
Bombs down towards short, boys. 30 seconds remaining. They seem to try and just whittle that clock down now.
Survival. Integral. Kenny will tuck in, and already the frags are going away of the CTs. Nexus caught another. Valda thrown into a 1v4. He will not succeed. And that is colossal for the G2 economy.
Yeah, if you don't have to invest, why would you? You know,
apparently not.
You don't need to buy. Just don't worry about the armor. Give Kenny a Deagle every round. There's no need for the AWP. But the double AWP setup was right, Henry.
Yeah, so that's what they wanted to aim for, I guess. That makes sense. Honestly, most teams, almost 99%, I would say, would pull in that round. But I guess they really wanted this double AWP setup. And the landscape couldn't be better for them at this point. Two AWPs, 3 T-sided weapons, including 1 Krieg as well. This is the strongest setup you can have in Mirage. I'm going to say it right now. If you had that other AK as a Krieg, that would probably be it. But as it looks right now, G2 in an incredibly strong position. Going for that mid aggression like we talked about, the top of mid smoke down. You got Hunter, who will look towards the underpass position at this stage, allowing Kenny S just to cover him. They can swing off each other and pivot if required. If they get the AWP, gets the attention towards top of middle, for example, we can see Hunter duck and dive and make his way up there. It's a full B commitment coming through, and this looks good for OG.
Really good. So much control found early. Nexus trying to relieve some of the pressure, but Valda's hitting all his shots. Kenny will be tested. And they might be forced to save this one. Losing those players so early. The best buy, as you presented it, has been destabilized by a nimble MAC-10 leaping out of the windows and finding that first.
Yeah, well, there it is. Lovely work from OG. Bit of mid-presence at the start. Flooding out of the B bomb site. They've obviously spotted a vulnerability there, and only 1 frag picked up. That's MBK going down, but Valda and Issa taking care of business on the B side itself. Kenny S had to fall back after getting a massive injection of cash to get a lot of it removed. So saving the AK and AWP this time. They will be buying into the next round. You see 3 players available there. Jax, Hunter, and Nexa all hovering around $5,000. In terms of loss bonus, to get $1,900 into the next round. So they will have enough for the double AWP setup again if they really wanted to, considering it to drop a weapon. They might be leaning against that. We'll have a look at the opening frag. Hunter, that's what happened here. So maybe way too aggressive on this one, and a lot of sound made as well.
Stampeding through underpass wasn't too much of a collection from Issa.
They're able to buy because of that round in the previous where they somehow pulled off a miracle with Kenny's Deagle. He will have the AWP again. Let's see if he can find some impact with it this time round. OG now going back to this just site-heavy execute, this time over towards the A site, and there's only 1 individual ready to receive. It's going to be a retake setup. Jax can't do anything from this ticket position if they just do a full set piece. He has to wait.
He has to respect it. He's thrown his own smoke to play around. That's interesting. Keeps him safe from the guys of Palace. Allows to play around it for these angles. And actually, does spot 1. I think he's been spotted, and so will fall out for now. He's doing well to survive and delay. Now he strikes, and it's Issa to eliminate the threat.
We talked about the success of the set pieces and the objectives at the start of each round for OG. If they don't run the defaults, they actually look a lot stronger. You can see that reflected in their play right now. So much assertiveness behind these executions towards the bomb sites. They're finally opening frags. They've now got themselves a 4-on-4, but are they anticipating this quick flank?
No kids here.
Valda He actually got the angle wrong, but will he be able to adjust? He certainly will. Nice work. And there are no kits as the headshots keep being delivered here. MBK with a monstrous performance with that AK-47. Just one player remaining is next up. He'll take down his nemesis, but at this point, it is going to be another successful OG round. Execution off the bat works out very nicely indeed.
So one of the problems that G2 have right now is these gamble stacks that they've gone for in the early stages. You could see there they had 4 individuals leaning over towards the other side of the map, and that was through an underpass push. Now, what I talk about sometimes when we're on the analyst desk is this calling from the T side. If the CTs are going for gamble stacks and you can stay one step ahead of what you expect them to be the counter to your stack, that's great. But G2 are 2 steps behind at this point. They've actually stacked the wrong places, and now they have to play catch up. And to do that with an eco, well, they have to sit back and just get dictated to.
Jax getting burnt by the invisible flames there on the ledge. They're going to go for this mid-usual flash attack. They don't actually have the flash available, so they'll just choose a time and swing out towards middle together. Objective here, get a couple of kills, upgrade to the rifles. You sometimes can win these rounds if you catch the T's at the very specific time with their grenades out, or if they're not expecting it. But MBK's position looks pretty safe. They'll probably trade out 1 kill here with a 5-man swing, but overall, OG should handle it relatively well.
That's the plan, and like the Alexi B Mac 10 as well, to truly punish and farm up all that extra cash, especially the T side. But Jax, a double kill with the CZ, and another one's coming in. Oh no! Oh dear, the foundations have been ripped from them, and now Mantu's getting caught with nades in his hands. He doesn't have to take this fight. Hunter seems pretty ready for it. Smoke is still blooming, but as it fades, his options now become even more limited. A 2 versus 4. Having to overcome the early damage.
Wow, the CZ finding those opening couple of frags there. We talked about the mid-swing coming through, but they're actually passive, waiting for OG to commit towards the choke points there. And now it's a 4-on-2 with Mantu and Issa. They have a lot of resources here, including utility. Issa, if you can get this first kill on Jax cleanly, they could be onto something. There's the first, but didn't anticipate the second. There it is, the shot from Amanek, and they're going to steal away another round of just pistols here. They had rifles before. It's Jax getting 3 in total. 2 the CZ, 1 with the rifle, takes his total up to 5 and 1, as it will be G2 now 4, OG 3. Here's a replay of that CZ sequence. You can see his line up for him real nice there, jumping into his crosser almost. Upgrade to the Mac 10, finds a Krieg in the end, and they're back on track with the finances. Double up setup as well.
I mean, that's so G2, half of their rounds they've won so far have been with unidyllic buys, for lack of a better word.
And they won the pistol round as well.
Yeah.
So 3 rounds won by virtue of the pistols.
Nexus there again. I don't think Alexi's going to be falling for any close corner antics this time. Yeah, Nexus will tuck out. Just positioning for a surprising angle if anyone planned to walk through that smoke. They will not, but talking of walks, this is some of that mid-round aggression we were talking about. If OG continue to stack all their pieces and rely on the executes, that requires so many pieces of the puzzle to be in one place that all this information can be farmed early.
They have an idea because of what you're saying here that they're congregated around Connector, and they just dropped towards 3 of them who were clustered at the base of Connector. It only really damaged Alexi B. A little bit was done to MBK, but if there were more nades, or if it landed a little bit shallower, that could have been a nuke.
Hunter is known for these flanks on Mirage. He does this a lot, and he's going to be looking towards the AWP right now. Misses out on the opportunity. He's going for the big play here. Didn't just want 1 frag. He wants to try and save the round. So he'll go for this first pick, and it's a great reaction if a Mantu. He gets both shots, one towards middle, the other towards short. He is looking very sharp in that particular sequence. It looked like Hunter had enough going on there.
It did, but a very quick flick from Mantu keeps OG safe and sound. It's always horrible when you're on the dank flank and then you just start watching your kill feed fill up. You've just let them go. Some trigger discipline. That's the adjustment from Mantu onto Hunter.
We have a few problems for OG right now because when they've gone for these anti-ecos through middle against the pistols, they've lost. And we saw what happened when teams rush B against the pistols. We're running out of parts of the map that you can take versus an anti-eco right here for OG.
Bit of a stack of sorts. Not going to be playing contesting middle. They won't be able to with their pistols. So instead, 3 players dedicated towards this A hold. And Balder has his vault out ramp. He's met Jax and will behead Kenny. Nice, neat and tidy.
This game is very back and forth so far. The pistols not finding much success this time. Taking down towards Shadow. That will be Nexa as Valda confirms the A side is now clear. They've got smokes down towards Connector. Everything's looking good Last two remaining CTs are towards spawn. That's to be Hunter and Amanek. They don't have armor. A couple of upgraded pistols, and that's about it. As the bomb gets planted, it's going to be OG edging a lead at this point.
Here's a fun fact.
Go on. I like fun facts, Chad.
Every round so far has been won by the team who found the opening kill.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so we can just predict the outcome of the round based on the first kill from now on. Let's just do that.
Very confident. Right. CZ can't do enough damage. It's down to 40 to 3 kills in total. Takes care of the flower pots as well. He's got a very good spawn from middle if he wants to take it with that creek. So will we see a timeout? Yeah, we're getting to the mid stages of this first half. In terms of money, it's not looking great for G2. They might want to take a partial considering next stand at 3,500. But we'll take a tactical timeout just to discuss their options here. He'll go for the MP9, which is absolutely fine. One player down on the SMG is more than serviceable as we take our first US Air Force tactical timeout now. A chance on Malek to get stuck in and work out what's going wrong so far, because we have seen OG Chad with these set pieces and five-man mentalities.
What I haven't liked from G2 so far is when they get executed on, they're never in the right places. Normally you want to have 2 guys on the A side, 2 guys over towards the B side, 1 guy holding off towards middle, but it feels like they've always been in a gamble stack. And then when they won those rounds with the pistols, that's when they were actually in transition. They were taking OG down while they were trying to set something up. So maybe try and opt for that on the gun round. Go for a similar play. Take your mid control on the CT side, make it a little bit more awkward.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. The fact that they're dumping 5 players onto bomb sites here, you should be maybe going for an opening duel here, just to sabotage their efforts at the start of each round. And we have got that double orb set up for the 3rd time now. It hasn't really worked out for them. Remember, 3 of their rounds being picked up. The first with the pistol round, and then a couple of save buys as well. These full investments haven't really worked out for them. So a little bit more aggressive this time as Jax steps in towards the A ramp room. He has got Nexa with that MP9 just to try and bait him in. So he's got the close range weapon there to suggest that's all that could possibly be in the corner. And we're going to leave Jax alone now. Does he want to stay in this position? Issa on the other side. And all 5 players again, Chad, they've really learned from the other day. They're not doing any defaults anymore. No one's trying to get map control alone. Just going around as a 5-man unit and trying to stay quiet at this point. But there could be a flashbang coming over once they pull the pins on their smokes. They need to confirm that the A ramp room is clear first. And Nexa, he's taking his eyes off the prize for a second. He looked towards spawn. And it's all going to go wrong here, surely. He gets a couple and keeps them in the round, but maybe not for long.
Yeah, NBK, that's a huge secondary frag. He catches Hunter. He was the first response. The rotate's coming in now. Kenny Molotov'd off. T's pushed up close, a double AWP. Now, I'm no expert, but double AWP retakes are not ideal and a byproduct of the risk-reward of double AWPing.
More fun facts for you. Kenny's only managed to get, 1 AWP kill so far. Amanek doesn't have any AWP kills to his name at this point. And on these rifle rounds, the only, when it's been a full investment from G2, the only kills that have come through on rifle rounds have been with the MP9. So they haven't actually...
And they're very stubborn
Haven't
getting
killed anyone,
onto this double AWP setup. Like I said, it's the 3rd time they've run it now. They even took that eco in the 3rd round to get to this position. It hasn't worked out. So the fact that Amanek hasn't even got an AWP kill yet suggests this isn't really working. But I guess there are still a few rounds to be played, and they continue to wield the double AWPs as they didn't get taken down here.
They need to be assertive with it, right?
I know. Yeah, that's the problem. Where's the Kenny S flare at this point? He's just holding window. And Chad, you and I know from Simple's mouth verbatim, it's the worst position to play with the AWP. It doesn't work out for you. You never seem to find frags. You're completely locked out. You need to be more dynamic. You need to be nimble. Let's start moving this AWP around. Let's see what Kenny can do with this. Does he go towards window again? No, he's not. He is going to mix things up, knowing that the standard positions won't work out for him. So he could just push off towards short. He can be boosted towards the boxes as well. And we'll see what he's got in mind here. Holds a passive line.
10 rounds in, and the opening kill stat still stands true. So far, we're 6 and 4 in terms of opening duels, 6 in favor of OG. They've converted every single one of those rounds, and the same can be said for G2. So right now, this push from Amanek could be everything.
Well, he's starting to find a bit of confidence here. It's been the timings that have been the issue, and once again, they elude him. The moment that he walks in towards an open position, he's looking away. Can he convert this shot though? Spots him, nails it. NBK removed, finally. That AWP works out for him. That's his first AWP kill of the half so far. And a 5-on-4 as Kenny S continues to look for more.
The bench position is super scary now with what Kenny's doing.
False intel here. He maybe called middle as clear at this point.
With the nades blooming, that might be enough to keep his aim focused upon it. They're going to have Alexi B splitting out of connector, and they'll be having the rest of the squad working their way through T-spawn to A. Now, for the first time, Chad, they do have their pieces in the right place. The issue being their weaponry is not quite up to snuff. Another frag, this time 3, as they open up the site. Issa just leap out of Palace and finds himself another pair of frags. He's on 12.
Where was Amanek then? We didn't even hear an AWP shot. He's just dead. He's just gone.
He opened things up. I don't know what happened to him after that. I assumed he maybe pushed a little bit further and got taken down. You're right, though. They didn't go towards B, so maybe he just got wrecked in CT spawn.
The first exception to the opening kill rule.
Yeah, so it's only taken 11 rounds, but that one's shifted. OG are looking great. They're just looking like they're going around the map being at a dry run right now.
Well, we said their T sides and their defaults weren't great, and I feel like they've really built upon that. And we said it in the interview the other day as well. We said, like, your CT sides look fantastic, but your defaults really need a lot of work. And they kind of agreed as well. They said there's a bit of confusion on the T sides right now with the timings. It feels like people are overextending, trying to find their own advantages without telling other people. Right. And it seems like they've got just a lasso around the entire team right now and saying, right, this is the objective to start. We're sticking to it. We've got 5-star players, as they think. And at this point, it's working out for them very nicely. He's going in, nailing their shots. Issa's looking very sharp with the Krieg as well. The timing's good. He saw Alexi B there using his teammate's smoke to actually get through the connector, sneaking towards the CT steps, and they had no idea. That was a double AWP setup as well. Again, they took a full eco around it. There's a lot of money out on the field there, and they didn't really have anything to back it up. Even with an opening pick, nothing really could be done. One by one, they're taken out, and that's going to be 4 rounds in a row for OG.
If I'm G2 now, I go for a full-out mid control. I get the top mid smoke dropped, I put a Molotov in, maybe I send someone covering underpass while 2 people push to clear top of mid. But if I'm making that call, then OG and Alexi B are probably ready to read that. So expect right now either potentially a very, very slow round where they change the pace completely and they wait until these last 20, 30 seconds before they set out and execute.
Amanek just went for glass cannon when Kenny could have dropped to AWP for the double AWP with Kevlar. Interesting choice. Keeping Kenny with the fuel for the fire later on.
Yeah, Amanek really wants this secondary AWP. Like, that's the 4th time he purchases it now. Will it work out?
Kill so far.
1 AWP frag, and he continues to buy. We know he's a very capable rifler. You don't need to be AWPing on the B side of the map. It helps out to have 1 player there, but I'm not sure it's really justifying the investment at this stage.
And they're not even using it to unravel these executes, right? If you find an opening pick against a team who loves to do heavy set pieces, that's great.
Alexi finds his first.
Yeah, it's not really that compelling from G2 so far. There's another kill available here. They're just getting ripped apart. G2 mauled through the smoke. MBK with the second there. Nexa doesn't know what's happening, and Amanek, he needs to stop buying that AWP at this stage. It's not working out for him. He's not nimble enough on these retakes to actually contribute at all, Chad. He's having to either save or be nothing to do with the round.
Nobody from G2 feels activated in these rounds. It doesn't feel like they're ready to take a fight. Every single time we see, it doesn't even feel like a heads-up duel. Kenny now getting flanked, having to worry about all the angles. They're going to definitely chase him down. Look at him, he's pinned. Every single time, the fight is on OG's terms, not G2's terms. Yeah. We said the star power is on the G2 side of things. Start taking the fight to OG.
Yeah, we talked about their influence from the Crazy Boys. For anyone who's not aware, at the last Berlin Major, there was a plucky team called Crazy. No one expected anything from them. It had the likes of Hunter and Nexa within it. It was a bit of a swan song event for them. They didn't make it to the playoffs, but they did get deep in the group stages and managed to turn a lot of heads. I think they went 2 and 3 in the second stage of the tournament, right? So they had a great Mirage and train as well. Their tactics were very notable, especially on Mirage. It seemed that they had a good understanding of how to be aggressive and a nuisance in the CT side, and we're just not seeing that right now. And they've said that's what they've really been working on and trying to bring into the G2 machine.
Yeah. I mean, that Crazy team also managed to battle out their way out of what was probably one of the most stacked European minors of recent memory. So that's a very big feather for their cap.
G2 are playing scared. That's what it looks like to me, and I don't know why.
They've just been rattled, I think. I'm not sure why they're not taking more of these pauses and just saying, like, this investment of $7,000 on Amanek every round to get an AWP, let's just get him on a UMP and B with the utility and just hold for a frag. At least we might be able to fend them off a little bit better or retake a bomb site. And now, have they got a flash to go over this wall? They haven't. HE grenades will do nothing at this stage. And a full execution's coming through. There's a chance these Deagles can connect, but a slim one.
2 from Nexa and a third on the cards. Mantu's got low HP. Hunter 1 bullet will do. He can't hit it. Mantu will keep OG in the round. Now Amanek will connect. They come out behind him. This time, Mantu's still under pressure. 1 bullet will take him down. He's got a 1v3. It looks impossible. Will be impossible. Kenny confirms.
it still was ugly.
It was a bit chaotic.
Like, I know there's pressure on... The thing right now is I'm expecting, like, world-class aim, like Hunter with the stat lines that he's been putting down, what he did to his cousin Nico the other day. I was expecting Hunter to round that corner and finish off Manta, who was low on HP. But he gets offered up a chance. And he actually converts it. It's a very scary duel. It's not an easy fight by any means.
Yeah.
But who I set up as the star player of this one right now, even though he has 7 kills to his name, a lot of those came against the Eco Bash in the second round of the half here. And this top mid smoke, I'm not sure if the CTs are wanting it to land there. It's not hugely deep. Maybe that's why.
Well, there we go. Kenny S finally opening things up here. Jax the AK-47 in the Palace position. G2, this is their opponent's pick, but you expect a bit more than this. That's more promising now. Issa taking down Silence from that Palace position. And we have a 5-on-3 ensuing here with Valda boosting up Alexi B once again. He's currently 1-7. He's had very up and down performances in EPL so far. Some very good ones later in the week, but earlier on he was MIA, I would say. If he can wake up now and pull them out of this 5-on-3 situation, that would be excellent. A couple of rounds to go. They've got plenty of money for the final round. They might as well see what they can do with this one. With a minute on the clock as well. Alexi B holding towards jungle. CT's all over the map here. Exploring for information. And making a lot of sound as well. So Alexi might even have a guaranteed frag on Kenny S at this point, just because he got his knife out. And indeed, down he goes.
Now, what does that mean for the CTs on B? They know there's presence.
A's open.
And they're opening up A. He can rotate. Alexi B, he's calling the shots. He's got a good understanding of where the CTs are going to be positioning.
So they've all pushed around the map thinking they've got great intel here, but they haven't really covered the main choke points like Connector and Jungle. They're in T-spawn thinking they've absolutely nailed it. It's a 5-on-3, Chad. And why are they pushing around the map? I can't really explain that one. What information are you hoping to find? You know they've got more than enough money for the last round. It's number 14, and they've had a streak of 6. Why are you in T-spawn hunting for information?
I think this is one of these circumstances where they've gone and done their game plan, and their game plan is actually what's in their head at the moment. They've been told this is how we're going to counter their approach. This is what we're going to do is suffocate them. When they're setting up for executes, we'll have the flank. We'll know exactly where they're going to be every time. But what that allows is Alexi B, who we just heard from Mantu, is some god-tier caller just knowing things that aren't possible to know. He's probably making all these mid-round plays and calls.
I've casted plenty of G2 Mirage games. If you do see them get advantages, you'll see Hunter pushing towards B like every single time, trying to get his way in towards T-spawn. And it's one of their tendencies that can work out very nicely. If a team's not ready for it, he makes them look like fools. But when they've got a 5-on-3 lead and you've got players pushing Palace, T-spawn, B apartments, thinking you've got all the information, you've forgotten about the A bomb site, I think that's inexcusable. We'll see if they can pick up this final round. And this aggressive play towards the A ramp has worked out for them a few times. Remember, not many gun rounds under their belt. And it's Connector that is forgetting about these key choke points. I don't get it.
It does look like they'll be able to stabilize thanks to Hunter, but another ginormous gap, a void in the G2 defense has been exploited by Alexi B again. It concludes 9-6, but OG undefeated as are G2. That changes in map 2.
That's how we know when we level up.
Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I do what I wanna be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime. I can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said, oh, I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said, oh, I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. Then you better use it. Tell yourself day after day it's time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you want it to be.
G2 Esports shaken and looking lost. Amanek, despite his best efforts with the AWP, has been unable to connect, and crippling what looked to be a promising G2 start. Now on the other side of things, OG's T side got them this far, and now it's to the favored side. Chad, Henry, you both favored OG's CT. You said that's where some of their strengths lie.
Yeah, absolutely. As their T side, usually it looks a little bit weak and questionable, but today, I'm actually really enjoying it. It seems like they've sorted out their default issues, their set piece mentality is really working out for them, and G2 making some very questionable decisions financially with that double AWP setup. 5 times, I think it was brought out, and it got 1 AWP frag for Amanek. So not ideal, and we'll get into this first pistol round. Remember, it was G2 that picked up the pistol in the first half. Looked very convincing, didn't even drop a kill for the first 2 rounds, and find themselves at a 9-6 deficit now. With the B split coming through, it's Alexi B to defend.
Yeah, and there's no one on B. Mantu's done well to catch Kenny. That's actually the bomb loose, so effective to slow them down. But the frags, this next frag will determine the outcome. Alexi B and Amanek finally filling the feed with 2 of his own. But the damage has been inflicted. OG, a promising start converted. Issa's got a double of his own, and they clean it up. Retake B, but no bomb plan.
No bomb plan at all there. Fast up towards short, 3 players as well, and you'd think a double kill from Amanek towards the kitchen would at least yield a bomb plan, but apparently not. The USPs will be victorious once again. Here are the odds brought to you by GG.bet. You can see them slightly edging towards OG. And I would say at this point that's fair, given their scoreline. We'll see whether they can convert this 10-6 lead they have right now. In terms of the investment in round number 2, we have nothing really at all. And Glocks, no armor.
I'll remind you as well that OG have been very self-aware of their current habit or trend of losing their map pick.
Yes, they are, aren't they? This is their pick, and so far so good. And that's the opening pick from Valda. That's towards the Palace position. He'll take down Amanek, having a rough game out there so far. He was around 40 ADR after that first half, and we'll see them now with no flashes. Just trying to bait out utility. We always say that trying to get rid of the incendiaries, especially, they cost $600 a piece. It all contributes to the economy of the CT side. So any smokes or flashes you can get out, you might as well hold up and see if you can draw them from the CT defense.
Over towards the A site, Israel spam down 2. Kenny's Deagle continues to find success, but Mantu will make his way over, deal with him. Hunter Glock in hand. I mentioned and I talked him up. I said in the last 6 games on Mirage that G2 have played, they've won 5 of them. The most recent loss was against Na'Vi over there in the grand final of IEM Katowice, which was a stomping. But in the games that they had won, 4 of the 5, Hunter was the highest rated player. And in that 5th scenario, he was the 2nd highest rated player. So we're normally expecting to see a lot more out of him here. Now, I'm always talking about the T side, the Hunter boost through window. I'm not sure if those plays are going to work against OG. It feels like they're very prepared.
They're very infamous at this point as well. But Amanek, that's not bad at all. Got 2 kills in the pistol. Manages to open things up in this first gun round and falls back with 7 points of health as well. double stack towards the Palace position from the CT side. Leads Man2 to a death. We are going to see Issa continuing the push though. Makes his way towards T-spawn, but Amanek ready for it. Has got the advantage. This would be a very brave peak for Issa to take, but one that's perhaps necessary.
Yeah, I mean, considering how wide open A is, Connector being smoked now from that window perspective is going to force a push out of MBK, and that's the bomb.
The bomb, boys.
Oh no, it's happened again. This is the reinforcement immediately. What's this reaction?
And Amanek's low. He can't even run in there to pick it up with taking a fight because that MP9 one bullet will kill him.
Oh
Valve
dear.
has caught another.
Yeah.
They're building on it, man. It's looking terrifying for the G2.
Just same sort of issues. Remember in the first half, they weren't watching Connect on the CT side. Now they've forgotten about the B apartments and a potential threat of a push after gaining the first pick. The natural reaction from the CT side is to push the map, reactive play, try and get some real estate back in your favor. And they just haven't been aware of that at all. MBK, he does take down the bomb. They will recover it. He's not going to fight for that. He just wants to make sure they have to commit towards a bomb site here. Jax should have a guaranteed frag, but still not connecting that. You've got to hit those, Chad.
Yeah, this is just reminding me of what Mouse Sports were doing, but this is working. We're just seeing OG limp out individually, and I said going into this matchup, G2 had them covered in terms of firepower. Well, right now, the firepower on the OG side looks much more potent as Hunt's about to go down in the back again.
They got the opening kill there towards Palace as well, remember. And they've got a 5-on-4 advantage, and the decision is to leave B apartments completely open, not be aware of it, then send the bomb alone with a knife out, running at this stage. Let's see how bad.
Hello.
So why is the bomb? Why is there no trade potential there? Why is no one thinking this could be a possibility? I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm going to say that Amanek was meant to be with him, but being low on HP and knowing the push was in plan, they had to change it up a little bit. Now, I think the OG have looked at whatever demos they can of G2. They found the holes in the way that they like to approach the map, and they're exploiting them fantastically here because the G2 firepower coming into today, Kenny's one of the highest rated players in the league thus far. Same with Hunter, he's definitely up there in the mix. They're just not landing their shots. They're not being able to find this impact we're talking about. Kenny almost going down to the molly there. It is just a pistol upgrade round, but they're not even finding danger here, and this was one of the highlights of the first half.
Well, there's the headshot at least. Alexi B taking the 16. AK-47 probably do a lot more damage than that. Man2 striking from the window. Doesn't even get a chance in the second. The HE arrives in the face of Hunter. They're overcommitting to these fights at this stage, but still absolutely fine for the round, I would say, as a T will drop down towards mid-round. Going to be dropped as well. Another ding delivered. So at least landing crosshairs on the heads at this point. Amanek does one better than that as she gets the kill. 3 versus 1.
There's a chance here. If he can isolate these fights like OG have been playing thus far, very strung out, very individual across the map, or MBK and Alexi B are one bullet from dropping, and, well, a Deagle bullet to the head of Valda's a kill as well. No bomb, just the Deagle. But time is okay right now. Just depends on what his decision-making is.
Yeah, I mean, he's walking towards the right site for these individual duels. The chances of him being spotted by the CT player are unlikely, given the fact he has to dedicate himself to A. This is going to be noisy.
Now you cancel it. Yeah, cancel that. Think about something else.
It was a nice idea, I suppose, but unfortunately one that won't be doing too much for him. Now he gets up there, as we'll see him take him down as the AK-47 Alexi B waiting. 13-6, boys. OG just running away with this one. And
this was the map coming up, Dust 2 being number 2, was the map that OG beat them on. Well, and they lost to Tyloo.
Yeah.
So with those in mind, if G2 are playing like this individually...
Warning sirens right now.
Maybe it's a 2-0, but just the other way.
G2 have won Mirage 5 of the 6 past times. They've played it with over 100 Thieves, and was that Spirit at the end?
It did look
Spirit
like
was in
Spirit.
there, yeah.
So
The loss was to Navi in the final.
They've got such a great strat book and result page on this particular map, but it's just not working out for them at all. There's still time, of course, here as we enter round number 20, but they're 13-6 down. Their T-side has left them at a 0-4 deficit so far, but we'll see if Kenny S's AWP and its power behind it is enough to open things up towards Connector.
Oh, sound cue for Alexi. He's building a picture. Does hear the gunshots of Hunter. They know mid-control has been foregone. It does mean that short could be a threat on B.
So the B split looking incredibly likely. First flashbang's being thrown over, and they will focus their efforts towards short. It's more of a pound play here. They haven't thrown a load of smokes in, and Alexi B coming in for the vault up towards short. Kenny's ready for it. Great shot. That should be enough to win the round at this point. You can see the CT's locked out. Jackson towards the kitchen area does manage to confirm the round, and it's a 5-on-2 now. Much better from G2 there. Hitting their shots, staying together. Trade potential was strong, and you can see that. Nice little gambit up towards short, working after them. Default smokes down towards middle, up short with 3 players and 1 flash around the corner. Not telegraphed in any way because they didn't have the smokes down towards a pillar.
One of the things, though, that OG can learn from that round was they did their top mid control smokes, the smoke and the Molotov, but they didn't play anybody behind it. They were doing it just to feign mid presence, and G2 went through it pretty easily. They just lined up a flash, sent Jax out to find an entry frag, and they get it almost for free. So maybe OG, if they want to show that mid presence again, next time have some members push on out. And if G2 push through with just that flashbang, they might be able to get a multi-kill or so. The saved AWP in Mantu's hands and that AK for Issa is good as we barrel down into the later stages of this match. They should be able to buy and drop guns across. Money didn't seem like it was too strapped considering the way that these last 5 rounds have panned on out. Should be able to get a drop across from Volder, and then either MBK or Alexi will probably buy like a UMP or a FAMAS or something along those lines. Volder can still drop something. Definitely.
We'll see if he will. There's money available to them.
There he goes. He dropped it at M4.
So, OG, that's the first round they've given up, but still enough funds here for a Mantu AWP. Currently set on 10 frags and 9 deaths. MP9 for MBK shouldn't be a massive issue. And they still have the AK-47 for Issa. Top fragger so far.
MBK buy armor. There we go.
The pacing of the buys is always a weird one. I think it's usually, the way I'm envisioning it is like before you see the buy and it gets all awkward and close, it's because the sentence hasn't finished yet. You know, Alexi's still making the call. And finally he finishes the sentence. You see the final buy come in. Oh, Mantu was considering the jump, changes his mind. He's been flashed off. You can see the protocols in place do make it very difficult to find that opening pick as an AWP in middle.
Yeah, they'll throw that Molotov towards the connector position every single time. And we have got an opening kill from Issa here. Vada will chime in and find the bomb. G2 trying to pick up the pace this time. They went for the B split before, this time focusing their efforts towards A. Kenny S, he hits these close range, will find Valda. Maybe some life in this round yet. Bomb's still down though, he drops the smoke on top of it and makes his way towards Palace instead. And he's got his teammate Jackson towards the connector. This round is still possible for them, but this is where it has to change. Jax will have to step up and find a kill if possible.
As soon as that smoke fades, the bomb hasn't been retrieved, and that paranoia will not bear fruit. Instead, Kenny, a matter of time before the rotate comes in, he has to strike now. And there's a chance on its way. Tugged in on the corner. I reckon Kenny checks this. Kenny is far too wise for these tricks from Alexi B. He's gone back down now. Oh, and he's on top of him. Can't check his left as he's focusing on the CT. 14 for OG.
14 rounds picked up. Another convincing one there for OG. G2 trying to make their way through the smoke of the A ramp. They commit 2 players in there. The Palace as well. Everyone gets mowed down by the AK-47. The bomb goes down the most precarious of positions. And it's Kenny S making his way back towards the Palace. There have only been 3 total flash assists in 20+ rounds this map from two from G2 and 1 from OG. That's kind of insane, actually. The flashbang's not really being utilized at all, it seems. Yeah,
in stark contrast to the Mouse Sports game, when they were on form, we saw the ridiculously high flashbang statistics. Everyone was getting involved. Alexi getting involved in middle, actually, throwing a couple of bullets down range, catching Jax. Hunter, however, does find the opening. It's only for a second because the duels continue. Hunter catching Alexi on the aggression. Valda responds. We've got ourselves a quick 3v3.
Yeah, Valda, he was in trouble there. There was a pre-fire from Hunter, but only catches him in the shoulder, not the head. So Valda now looking towards CPL for anyone making their way towards short. It will be a B finish. And in terms of the setup there on the CT side, we have MBK alone. HE only. Currently holding towards shorts, and could be in trouble here if they do go for a full contact play towards the window area. He has got himself back in position to contest this, but he'll do very well to get the timing correct. You can see he's having to watch so much here.
Steps, commitment, and a spray does good damage. He's actually managed to find 2 in the round. Now backing away with damage inflicted, Valda can swing around. This is getting real scary for Nexa.
He wins these though, Alex. He is known as a bit of a clutch master, and he makes his way towards Kitchen. Not going for the bomb straight away. OG sticking together, and he's confirmed the Kitchen is clear, but that might be the worst bit of intel he could have got, because the moment he makes his way out of there, they start cooking up a storm and rotate through, and it's going to be map point for OG. 15-7 now. Money's still pretty decent, considering their loss bonus now at maximum. But still, 8 rounds in a row on the T side of their opponent's pick. They'll take their 3rd tactical timeout here. G2 don't really have much left to say.
No, running out of conversation starters. They're going to have to start finding the Google some icebreakers. Find a way to start the conversation again, because this map pick from OG, you're A, seeing how justifying them picking the Mirage. You can see that despite OG having, what was it, something crazy, 25, I think? Yeah, so they've won 1 of their 4 Mirage games up against G2's. Of course, we compared their stats, a high win percentage on the map, so about 67% the last 3 months, but Chad's already given you the details of that.
This is not a true reflection of G2's Mirage, unfortunately. This is not the team we've seen on there before. I remember interviewing Kenny S after their successes on this. I said, I didn't know you could play Mirage. You guys look amazing on it. You've got everything under lock and key. Looks like your strategies are all absolutely fine. Your understanding and the pacing looks like it's great. And this has just been a complete reversal of all those ideas. Final round potentially here, as we have Galil's, especially in the hands of Kenny S here. They won't have the crutch of his AWP. Going for that A-split. Working towards connector. Hasn't worked out too well for them so far. Can Jax find them an opening? AK-47 joined by Hunter. No defense within the connector room itself. Valda holds towards Sandwich.
Walk out on Issa's Jiggle, gets the information. Valda, though, does have the element of surprise, hoping his teammate will draw some attention towards CT. And he will. Mantu is going to aggress. Help turn their attention towards him. And oh my goodness, just the headshot on towards Amanek. He will miss his shots. Amanek quite the opposite, though. Does connect onto NBK. Valda finally reveals the secret sandwich, and he's going to do more than just one. The double. NBK to equalize. He sees the head, but it's not enough. 16. OG. A triple kill from Valda to secure it. And they win their map pick up against the Titans that are